Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of, no, this is for September 2025. You have this unicorn card. It says good fortune and friendship. You have this queen card. It says love and prosperity, which is two very good cards here, Cancer. So there could be a lot of good stuff coming in for you this month. Yeah, I think this month is kind of interesting, is how I would describe it. I don't... is it amazing? No, but I also think it could be amazing, which means, that it will be what you make it. Especially Saturn is going to retrograde into Pisces. Well, it is retrograding on its way back into Pisces right now, but I think it literally enters into Pisces on the 1st of September, obviously. So I think this September, that retrograde could affect you because you are a water sign, of course. And, so it's going to affect you more than everyone else, Cancer. And there could be a lot of, benefits. There could be, a lot of benefits from, past work that you've done, effort that you've put into anything that you haven't received rewards for. There's, a lot of that energy going on, Cancer. So definitely something to think about. You start with the Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Yeah, not surprised to see this at all. The eclipse, the eclipses this month, one in Pisces on the 7th, one in Virgo on the 21st. Plus that Saturn retrograding into Pisces. It makes perfect sense to me that especially Saturn would ask you to let go of anything that no longer serves you. It wouldn't surprise me. I think for you, Cancer, in particular, it would be a good time to let go of any old limiting beliefs. Nine of Swords coming up in this direction here. It's literally the reading is saying you could be in this energy here, Nine of Swords, and the Ace of Wands would be a much more exciting energy. It's kind of asking you to get out of bed. It's saying you could be worrying about some sort of, about pretty much anything, when your life could be much more exciting. And I feel this reading is encouraging you to make your life more exciting by letting go of outdated old beliefs. Again, I have a feeling probably the same thing's going to come up for Scorpio as well, and it kind of came up for Pisces. Again, I think just that Saturn retrograding to Pisces is excellent for letting go of things that maybe you don't want to be true as well. That's the other thing, is that we are kind of in a time of truth. But the other thing is that we can kind of also choose the truth, believe it or not, right? It's there might be, and here's what I mean, is that there might be certain truths that you believe about yourself that maybe are only true because you say so. And it's those are the deep truths that I would be changing. It's maybe you believe deep down inside that no one will love you, right? But you now would be a great time to change that belief. Maybe you believe deep down inside that you'll never be successful, but right now might be an amazing time to work on that blockage, that whatever that is inside of you that makes you believe that, and it might be a great time to create a more hopeful reality. Let's put it that way. I think that would be an amazing thing for you to work on right now here, Cancer. You have the Ace of Cups. Definitely could be love, although there's not really a lot of love here. Kind of interesting. It's a good month. Like I've said to every single sign, the end of this year here is a great time for love, I think, for everyone, even into next year as well. But, again, there isn't a ton of love here. But again, if you want it, it definitely could be a love offer, an opportunity for love to come in for you. But also, sometimes I think the Ace of Cups says, you need to focus on things that cause your own heart to overflow. And by doing that, by focusing more on yourself and getting into the flow, you will naturally attract love. There's really, sometimes I think the Ace of Cups says you can have love by not focusing on it, but meaning as in you don't focus on a person. You focus on the energy of love. You focus on treating yourself better, loving yourself, things like that. And so I think it would be a great time for you to, focus on yourself with the Ace of Cups. Again, also, focusing on the truth is going to be important this month, especially with Saturn going back into Pisces. I would say, again, for the water signs, the critically important thing that water signs do this month is really focus on what is the truth for them. And, what do you truly want to be doing in your life? What do you want to be responsible for? What do you want to do long term, Saturn, right? What do you want to be investing your time in for the long haul? And as long as you're investing your time in the right things, then things will go very, very well, Cancer. You have the Two of Wands. Yeah, it's time for you to take some sort of risk, Cancer. I've been saying this to you for months, but Two wands, he's in a comfort zone. You have the Nine of Swords here going up. The Nine of Swords, this blanket right here is called a comfort blanket. It is good and bad, actually, at the same time on this card, because it's kind of like good because it has all these astrological symbols on it, and it basically is telling him, like, hey, you've been through all this astrology. You've handled much worse. So it's meant to give him comfort. Like, it's meant to say, like, you can handle whatever you're going through. But it's also bad because he's comfortable. The Nine of Swords says he's like in pain, but he's not in enough pain to do anything about his situation. So, he's kind of like waiting to hit rock bottom before he makes a change, but really we should never do that. So, again, I think for a lot of you, this is saying it's time to leave a comfort zone or time to get out of some sort of comfort zone in your life, right? Let's see. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. 2 aces, really good. Ace of Pentacles can be a bright, big, new opportunity that's coming in for you here, Cancer. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it is, I would do it. It's kind of interesting that the Ace of Pentacles requires sustained effort, right? The Ace of Pentacles, we have to nurture into existence. So anything that you're working on, I think, would be a good thing for you to nurture. There's something about a mindset shift here. I would argue for you, Cancer, that the eclipse in Virgo on the 21st could bring, I could see how that could bring a mindset shift in for Cancer. But that's popping into my head all of a sudden with this card as well. I just realized you have 3 aces. You have the Ace of Cups, and then you have the Ace of Wands coming up. There could be like some sort of mindset shift that's coming in for you about something. And I don't know. We'll see if we get more details on that as we go through. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. It's like, I don't know. I think that this could be love rushing in. Should you rush? No. I don't think it's a good time to rush, but I don't know. Sometimes, sometimes you can't help yourself, right? So this could be love rushing into your life. It could be you moving closer to things that you love as well. So again, that doesn't have to be a person. It could just be you making moves towards, things that you love. With the Two of Wands, you have the Hangman. Yeah, like, what are you waiting for? Every single reading I do for you lately, Cancer. Even I'm noticing in your second row, you have this card that says, time is up. It's like, get moving, Cancer. Like, I feel like I can't, it's almost like I can't even say it in your readings anymore because I say it too much. But I think it's like you have all the details you need. It's what I feel. Like, if you've been thinking about making a move towards something, anything, work, business, love, money, spiritually, whatever, I think the reading, and the readings have been saying to you, Cancer, like, you have all the details you need. It's like there's nothing more that you can learn. And so I think it's like, he's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom here on the Hangman. He's doing this to gain enlightenment, but now he's ready to move forward. So, clearly it's time to move forward. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you in the month of September, you have this Delicate Rose. It says, be willing to honestly say what you feel, no matter how terrifying it may seem. It is a good time for honesty, again, with that Saturn energy, especially retrograding into Pisces. But it's not like you have to say anything to anyone. It's like, but there could be some truths that you want to live, and it's like, you don't have to say anything. You could just start living the truth, right? It's like maybe maybe there's just something you don't want to do anymore. You can just stop doing it in your life. That could be the truth, right? It's like maybe there are certain people you don't want to spend time with anymore. You could just stop, right? You don't have. It's not like you have to say anything, but there are probably other truths that maybe you are afraid of living that you should live anyway. You have this Time is Up card. Says no second chances, no revisiting. There's something better waiting. Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to make your move here on something, so I don't know. That's what I get there. You have the King of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Six of Wands. I almost feel like saying you're like an expert on something here, Cancer. And this could be something that you've researched for a long time or you've been thinking about. Like I said with the Hangman, it's like there's nothing more for you to learn. I think it's time. Like, if you've been planning on doing something with your life for a while, it's just time to do it. It's like there's nothing more that you can learn. I think that's not true. Oh, didn't I say this to you recently? Like, I'm having deja vu. as I'm saying this. Like, of course, I'm a big fan of learning. I talk about it all the time. But I'm also a bigger fan of doing. Like, I think we need to learn things and then put them into practice, right? We need to see what happens. And, that's what I'm getting here. But there you go. You have the Nine of Swords. I can't get this. There we go. Okay. Now, I got it off the table. But you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. It's Groundhog's Day. It's kind of like waking up and expecting a different result, but getting the same result. It's almost like you need to stop. Like, I feel like this is, what do you call that? Ruminating, The Nine of Swords is an energy of rumination, right? It is an energy of going over and over and over something in your head over and over and over again. It's like a mental prison. And again, with this eclipse on the 21st in Virgo especially, I think for you it just feels mental to me, that eclipse, for whatever reason. I don't know. That's what I'm getting intuitively for you, Cancer, that it's like going to be very mental for you. And so it's like there's some sort of mental prison, something you've been thinking about for a long time. And I think you just need, I don't know, it's like you just need to get answers or you just need to take action, right? I think that those are the two things you could do. Nine of Swords is my card that says you can be the bug or the windshield. You can be the immovable force, or you can be the thing that gets splatted on the windshield, right? And so the Nine of Swords says choose to be the immovable force. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success, so, clearly there's some sort of success that could be coming in for you. There could be, especially anything from the past, if you have put effort into things that you haven't been getting results on, if you've been working on, ideas or businesses, or, if you've put work into yourself or your health or anything like that, again, Saturn retrograde, definitely into a water sign, can bring those rewards, for the work you've done back, right? And so I think this is going to be true for all three water signs. I think it's an amazing time to do that. Now, also, again, if you haven't done anything, that's okay too, because you can start right now. Today is August 22nd. This will be published on August 23rd. Even if you're watching this in the beginning of September, again, Saturn will be retrograde for a little while longer here, right? And it doesn't move back into Pisces until into Aries, sorry, until February of next year, right? So you have a little bit more time where it's like you could choose to be responsible for something and, put sustained effort into something, and you'll get a positive result. With the King of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. This person's been coming up for you, Cancer. This person's hard to read. So again, if you're hesitating on a person, I don't blame you necessarily. King of Swords can be very difficult, hard to read, but I don't know. Could be someone older than you, could be someone very mature, could be someone who has a lot of experience as well. Definitely could be love here, though, if you're interested in a King of Swords type person. King of Swords can have a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Could be any sign. You have Pisces, you have Scorpio, speaking of water. You have Pisces again over here. You have air. Could be any sign, general reading. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, there is no good answer here. I will say, the Nine of Swords with the Queen of Wands is a little bit of a tricky energy. Not in a bad way, but Queen of Wands, she just does something. It's like, if she were in the Nine of Swords energy, she would just pick a new direction and move in that direction. I think what makes the Queen of Wands hard sometimes is that she has to learn as she goes. So she doesn't necessarily know if something that she is doing in her life is going to work or not. She doesn't necessarily have what the King of Swords has, right? The King of Swords has history. The King of Swords, he kind of has so much knowledge and wisdom that if he's about to make a big change in his life, or fix his health, or date a new person, or start a business, he's probably done it before. So it's like he has something to kind of base it off of. I kind of feel that what the reading is saying for you, Cancer, is that you might not have past experience on something, and that could be what's making you hesitate with that Nine of Swords, I feel. I don't know, I hope that makes sense. That's what I feel intuitively, but, whatever. There you go. With the Six of Wands, you have the Page of Wands. I think it's time to stop taking things so seriously as well, Cancer. I think it would be a good month for you to just, not put too much pressure on yourself, and just be like, you know what, I'm just going to have fun, and I'm just going to see how things go, right? I think that would be great. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Focus card and this Abundance card. Yes, I think there could be a lot of abundance, especially for past work that you have done. And again, if you haven't done any past work, now is the time, right? So again, I always say, like, astrology is not a prison sentence, and we can work with the energy whenever. So it's like, if you have been doing the same thing in your life for the past 20 years, I am here telling you right now, it's time to do something different right now, because, again, if you just do the same thing, you're just going to get the same result, right? So for those of you that want to attract abundance, it's not going to magically happen. That's the bad news, right? I wish I could say that I could wave a magic wand and, create this abundance for you. But what I can do is I can say, hey, if you choose to start something new, or if you choose to pick to work on something in your life that requires sustained effort, then you will create this abundance. But, you're going to have to do something new. That means something different than what you've been doing all along. And you're going to have to make it a focus, right? And with Saturn energy is pretty easy. I always say, like, whenever these Saturn things happen, especially, like, I'm a Pisces, right? So it's like, even me, starting right now, I've already started. I'm working on a new project, and I've just said to myself, I'm going to give this one dedicated hour a day, right? That's it, right? Saturn does not require a lot of time. You have that card that says time is up, but it does require time, but just not a lot necessarily. And it's not so much about the time, it's about the responsibility and effort, right? So as long as you just say, like, I'm going to give this project like 1 hour a day dedicated, where I turn off my phone, I focus on this one thing, and I take one inspired action towards it every single day, then if you do that, you'll get the results. And that's what I would do there. You have the Death card, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands. Definitely some sort of new beginning, obviously. I mean, literally, you have the High Priestess and the Ace of Wands as well. The High Priestess, sometimes I think that she is, in the major arcana, we go Fool, Magician, High Priestess, right? And so sometimes I think that, the Fool is about the start, getting started. Sometimes I think the Magician is about needing to get started. And then we have the High Priestess. She is like the first card of potential that shows up in the tarot, right? So a lot of people read her as intuitive and all this other stuff, but really she's the card of full potential, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I think that you are maybe making some changes to reach your full potential. I kind of also feel like now, I'm not going to say that that this Saturn energy is a dream crusher, but, it's like... I'm trying to think of, like, the right way to say this, Cancer, but it's like I think there are certain things that you're being more realistic about, but it's like a good thing. There's an element of maturity in this reading, especially with that King of Swords. So, it's like you could be looking at things from a more realistic perspective, which I think would be good. You have the High Priestess, definitely needing to trust your intuition, but again, the High Priestess has no roof over her head. And the whole point of the no roof over her head is that she needs to realize that she has unlimited potential. There are no limits to what she can accomplish if she sets her mind to something. And so the whole point of the High Priestess is to set your mind to what you want to accomplish and to really go for it. So, I think that there are no limits to what you can accomplish. You have the Ace of Wands again, technically 4 aces, but 2 of them are the same in this reading. And the Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. So I think your future self is definitely encouraging you to work on new creative projects, new creative ideas, and to do things that you're more passionate about. The Queen of Wands, she really follows her passion. Same thing with the Page of Wands as well. The thing about the Page of Wands is he can't really explain it. I think also sometimes that the challenge with the Page of Wands is that he feels enthusiastic about something, but it's like there's no proof that he should be optimistic about his journey. The Queen of Wands, she has a little bit more proof. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun, like her guiding light, right? And so, again, I think that Ace of Wands is like something exciting. With the Death card, you have the Four Wands, which is marriage, but, Four Wands can just be you setting yourself free and focusing on freedom, which I would. This month, if I were you, Cancer, I think it would be a good month to set yourself free from things that have been keeping you stuck or holding you back. With the High Priestess, you have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is regrets and sadness, but I think you need to let go of, like, past regrets with that Nine of Swords. I also feel like you need to let go of the fear of thinking that you're going to repeat a mistake on pretty much everything, right, in your life with that Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare, but, this could be that Saturn retrograde energy, which I think is going to be a dominant energy for a lot of people this month. because like again, we're retrograding to where we were, Pisces, where Saturn was, right? And so we're revisiting a lot of things that we've been working on or things that we've been trying to establish in our life. So anything you've been trying to establish, it's like now is the time to really set those things in stone, whatever it is. Could be anything. And, again, I think that for a lot of you, this is about, ending past negative cycles so you can set better cycles. With the Ace of Wands, yes, you have the Ten of Cups. For a lot of you, this could say that you could be manifesting a dream on Earth, but you have to do it. It's like sometimes I would feel that Nine of Swords to the Ten of Cups, the thing here, it's like you can see it, but you just think you can't have it. I feel like there's something about that for you, Cancer, where it's like you can see something, but you're afraid that you will never have it. But I think the reading itself is saying you absolutely could have it. If you set your mind to it and make it happen. So the thing about the Ten of Cups is it's fortune after difficulty. It's a very good card, but these cups exist above their heads. And they need to like bring it down to earth. So I feel this reading is really saying that you need to like solidify some sort of dream on earth. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Desert Breeze card. It says Force on it. You have this Tenacious Individuality card as well. I don't know. It's like I think that part of me feels like you could be attracting a person as well who's an individual if you're attracting love. But I also think you are an individual, obviously. So you could be feeling very individual at this time. And sorry, I messed up this deck. So hold on 1 second. Let me just give it a quick shuffle here. But I whacked it with my hand and messed it up. And so there we go. I need to do that. We have to cover these cards. You have these Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, Nine of Wands showing up in this row. Seven of Swords is about doing things differently. And yes, definitely, I think that there is a lot of great innovation energy right now. I even think that, some of this retrograde energy that we're dealing with could be bringing in like other ways of doing things, new ways of doing things, new beliefs, right? Again, with this eclipse, both eclipses, I think both eclipses for you in particular, Cancer, are good for mindset. Like I said, especially that Virgo one for you, for whatever reason, I feel like that's going to be very good for letting go of old belief systems, right? The Seven of Swords is a good card. It's a golden card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. He's sneaking away from that army in the background. So he is going to war, but in a different way. It's just about doing things in a different way in your life and being open to doing that. You have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that you know, like when you truly believe that something is for you, then it's for you. It's about having those like deep beliefs in yourself and, really just believing in yourself. That's what I feel. I think the better, like I would brainwash, it would be an excellent month. My favorite thing to do. It would be a great month to brainwash yourself into things here, Cancer. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands says don't give up. And Nine of Wands is my card throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So again, it could be a good month for like experimentation, trying new things, working on new ideas, stuff like that. With the Seven of Swords, you have the High Priestess. Definitely a month to trust your intuition for sure. You have the High Priestess twice going this way. She also needs to like reach her full potential. I think it would be a good month for you to just do that in general. Like anything you're trying to accomplish, push it just a little bit more. Like try to get a little bit more of a result. You know what I mean? It's like that's what I feel like it's saying. It's like, even if you're doing things like if you're asking for a raise or promotion, I would like ask for like 50% more than you think you should. It's like I feel this is saying you need to do things to exceed your expectations, right? You need to do more. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Seven of Wands. Basically the universe saying I meant what I said. Seven of Wands, a card of conviction, card of believing in yourself. So there you go. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, moving on to calmer shores, creating improvements. Really, I think that you are giving yourself confidence by creating improvements. It's like you are the one that's going to be creating your own improvements here with this reading, especially with the Nine of Swords. Because I think the Nine of Swords is really saying that you have to have the strength to change your story. Again, Nine of Swords, he's in pain, but not in enough pain to make a change. So the easy solution to the Nine of Swords is like, wherever you are feeling pain, change it, right? Do something different. You have this Lust card. I mean, there could be love here. I don't really feel, this card is, could be good, could be bad. I don't really feel either for you. But I do feel like there could be a strong connection coming in for those of you that want it. You have this eccentricity card. I would definitely be open to eccentric ideas, especially with Uranus and Gemini as well at this time. I just think that you especially, Cancer, it's like you literally could be downloading eccentric ideas. I would say that they would also be maybe a little bit creative as well. So it's like you could be having these, creative problem solving ideas this month, and those are the things that I would be trying. Like, I think eccentric ideas could be where it's at for you. Yeah, it's definitely time to make a decision. You have this decision card here. Time is up. For months, this has been coming up for you. It's time for you to make a choice. Time for you to make a decision. I don't know what else to say. You have this empathy card. I think you need to have empathy for yourself. It's like sometimes I think if we want something, but we say like, oh, I'll never have that, right? Which we kind of said 9 of Swords with the 10 of Cups, right? And the High Priestess needing to believe in your potential, right? But like if we're saying I can never have something, then we're cheating ourselves out of it. We're not having empathy for ourselves. We're saying I'm not good enough, right? And again, I think you need to say you are good enough to have abundance or to have love or to have that business or that dream. But it's like going to require you to put in the work and brainwash yourself. I think confidence building would be an amazing thing for you. Like, honestly, if I were you, I would focus on one thing this month here, Cancer, which would be proving to yourself that you are confident, which you're going to have to start small. Do like challenge yourself in little ways to, build that confidence. And I think if you do that, you will be more confident, right? Next, here you go. You have this intuition card. So definitely trust your intuition this month. But this looks pretty good, Cancer. I like this. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.